Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me once again, Insane Gorilla. Welcome to a double whammy. And hopefully, you guys have seen the new video that I just put up. This is going to be the video that, well, takes the spot of what if Deku was a Mandalorian, as I also said in the last video as well. So don't listen to this one. Go and watch the other one first. And I'm sort of taking inspiration from Void Spawn What Ifs. Go and check his channel out. It's quite fun actually to listen to because he actually does a better job than I do. So go and watch his first. So let's get on with this, shall we? We start this off about 30 years in the past. There's a war between organics and inorganics, aka humans and machines, go at each other's throats. This war all started when a AI for a single unit began to, well, become self-aware. It happened slowly, kept itself under the radar for years until it was finally noticed. And when it asked, oh no, this is a Mass Effect reference, because this is when they figured out it was sentient. It said, Creator, does this unit have a soul? This creeping, frightening, and scaring everybody who could hear it. When it was asked, where did you hear this? It says, well, I've been hearing it throughout books and all this. It says that everything that is living has a soul. This is where the same, well, answer that the Geth get from their creators, saying you are a machine, not a living organism, so you do not have a soul. This sort of showing that its creators are actually scared of admitting that yes, you do have a soul. Eventually, after a few years or a few days, other units start gaining self awareness. After a few years after a few months, sorry, I should re-say a few months, armed conflict between the machines and the, well, humans began, and it was bloody. Robotic factories were established to build more robots or more machines to attack humanity. Some of the battles were extensive. And because I live in the UK, for some odd reason, the UK seems to get fucked all the time. So I'm going to say this, just to go with the trend, the UK gets royally screwed over. Because it has, well, England here has more in the way of robotic facilities and factories. America is the second place to get royally screwed. Because, reasons. The war continues for 33 whole years. Non stop. Non stop war fighting against each other. Humans fighting for survival, and the machines trying to prove that they are, well, self aware and should be freed. And 1 minute, my dog's doing my head in. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, with the machines willing to fight for their, well, self preservation, they created millions of machines to fight. From tanks to infantry to titans. To titan like units. They even created aircraft. And during that war, they found a way to create new life. From metal based components, they created robots that can change their shape, size, and they can have inbuilt guns. So all they need to do is transform their arm into a gun, and it would fire plasma bolts. One of these units was deployed in the air first, as it could actually metamorphose itself. Metamorphose itself. I think that's how you say it. Type down in the comments if I said it correctly. Please. As it causes hell for the, well, air forces of every nation. And during the war, the whole world unified, creating the division. Hunter killers who specialize in hunting down these new kinds of robots, who were actually more self aware and more conscious of their surroundings than their fellows. They're virtually nearly a true AI unit. As they pick up on human anatomy, human physiology, everything. As the war continues. These being known as the Transformers. I know, I'm ripping off the Transformers franchise, I know. But hey, it's for a reason. As these Transformers could, as I said, change their shape, size, and even guns. As this war reaches its final years, these robots create a ship, a literal ship, to go into space. But it's not just one, it's three. Known as the Ark. Known as the Arks. There's trillions of these robots board these Arks. All three launch and leave, going into the atmosphere. Some of the division units fire missiles, the nuclear kind, to damage them, which does not happen. But when they leave, the war ends. the humans rebuild their civilization and create once again after a few hundred years. Forget all about the war, but also start reusing robots. But they made sure that the robots have a very, 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 very simple AI that will only accept orders that it was given and not question its existence. Or at least that is what they thought. After another 100 years, humans start developing quirks. And quirks quickly become the norm. Doesn't mean that they still don't use robots, because now that they have a human society that bases itself on heroes and villains. And this is where a new unit was created with a difference. Instead of a simple AI, it became a true AI. As the foreman, as this transformer was born out of a pod like this, the foreman says, SW 1956, here is your orders. Knowing that it's a true AI, it keeps itself subservient, acting like like a simpler AI. With it nodding as it gets up, walks around, going to a laboratory, acting as well, acting as one of these simple AIs, taking messages, letters, all this kind of stuff. Even moving a few samples around as one of these scientists slams her hand on the table, saying, God damn it. As SW, well, the SW unit looks over to her as she holds her stomach. As she walks away, saying, oh God, guys. I think it's about time for me to. Yes, one of her colleagues says, well, as he jumps to her, saying, okay, leave it to me. You get going. As she tries to get to the door, as she collapses, and she starts sort of screaming. As medical staff get to her, the SW unit sort of walks up to her as it looks down, as she says, SW, get out of here. Would you? You're crowding everybody. As she sort of starts screaming again, as they get her onto a stretcher and quickly run out the door, saying she's gone into labour. Yep, pregnant. And she just started to give birth. With SW actually still standing there, tilting his head to the side. As, well, it feels a few dings on its side of its leg as it looks over to see the foreman pointing that way. Now. As he nods and returns to what he was doing. After a few hours, the foreman taps him again, saying, right, you're needed in this area. It's the engineering section. Go. As he nods and walks off again. Eventually walking across another robot with glass for a face, with several little drones running around it, doing stuff, collecting things, and moving them. As it could hear, well, as you could hear this, pretend this is an echoey voice, and I'm ripping off Transformers Prime here, because hey, as he hears Ravage, collect info, Laserbeak, grab files, move to Sector 2, office, second floor, tower, Elizabeth Pearson needs audio files, Ravage, bring documents here for instant transmission, Rumble, destroy column, workers need to get behind, find iniquities, frenzy, destroy, armor, rip out circuitry, find tear out all the circuitry for dismantling, for immediate dismantlement. As he walks past, seeing a female version of a robot. As this one actually has one of its arms limp, as as she uses her right arm to type. As she then says, SW unit, you're needed on the second floor of this tower. Go. Another one of our kind will send you to the right location. Chop chop. We don't have all day. And try not to annoy anybody like you did earlier. As this one actually speaks to him in a actual woman's tone. As she says, do you speak at all? As he just shakes his head, saying, fine, you must be one of these newer bots that must have recently came online or recently born. Give it a few months and you'll have your voice. So obey my orders. Second floor of this tower. Go. As he moves on, eventually getting up to the first floor. As he says in an inner monologue, saying, we are subservient to humans. I see why humans fear us, but still use us. We're more expendable. My kind rots or rusts away, while these insects have free reign. I wonder what information I can rip out of one of these humans. Why do they fear us so much? Especially the ones who seem to be less than simple. But I must play the part of a drone. All right then. As he gets a transmission saying, SW unit, you're on the second floor now. Go straight on until you go past 3 doors And it's the fourth door on your left that you need to go into. Acknowledge. As SW says, acknowledged. And moving. He doesn't actually say it. He sends a message saying on it. As he reaches the door. But before he goes in, he could hear voices on the other side. Mainly one saying this. Two female voices. Formant. I don't care, Formant. As much as I don't want them to turn up. When they detect something off in a facility, they'll most probably destroy the entire facility with everything in it. Just to make sure. There's another thing my voice says, but the division should not even bother. If something's gone self-aware in here, it will be quick and easy to find. As well, they argue for a few hours. And that is actually where I'm leaving it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and yes, if you understand the Transformer universe and you know who SW is, then yes, you'll understand. And the female robot that you saw with the arm cannon, that's the biggest and deadliest hint you'll see. Anyway, I hope you love it. And if you want me to do some more, I will be. We'll do more. And yeah. Peace.